Welcome to Green Gully Reserve. NPL Victoria action. Mark Van Aken with you. Katie Lembeski with me. And Katie is going to read out the lineups for us, begrudgingly.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for some Round 7 NPL Victoria action. A massive game tonight between the first place South Melbourne Football Club and the 6th place Green Gully Soccer Club. Kickoff is imminent here and the teams are in. We'll start with the home side. Starting in goal for Green Gully is number 1, Jared Tyson. Number 2, Caio Digoroy. Number 4, Jordan Hall. Number 7, Jay Davies. Number 8, Nick Georgopoulos. Number 9, Alex Salmon. Number 10, T-Boy Kamara. Number 11, Marmadi Kamara. Number 13, Sean Timmins. Number 17, Luke Jego. And number 25, Jeremy Walker. Starting for South Melbourne FC in goal is number 1, Pierce Clark. Number 2, Lirim Almazi. Number 5, Jake Marshall. Number 9, Harrison Sawyer. Number 13, Henry Hoare. Number 14, Josh Wallen. Number 15, Marko Jankovic. Number 20, Zach Bates. Number 22, Daniel Clark. Number 24, Ben Jeeba. And number 44, Jerry Salados. Big clash here, and a bit of news, I guess, with the Green Gully side is the return of Jay Davies from suspension, someone who, of course, will be key into Gully's midfield tonight. And South Melbourne, solid as ever, seemingly, particularly with this lineup, and they'll just back their ruthless defence so far this season, the best defence in the league. Marco, what's your thoughts on tonight?
Marco. Marco. We're all good. Look, massive game tonight, obviously. South Melbourne, top of the league, which has not been the case for a while, but the Oceania Club of the Century tonight against Green Gully. And as we're saying to our cameraman pre-game, these are 2 former National League teams. So, Katie, as you know, you worked at the club or volunteered at the club for a little while. Just a great part of Victorian folklore in terms of the game of football.
Indeed, 2 clubs, steeped in history, in tradition, and in culture. And whenever these sides come together, a great contest always ensues inevitably. South looking to apply some early pressure here, early on. Some good work there by Marmadi Kamara, just on that far side, earning Gully an early reprieve here with the free kick. We'll look to try and set up. Jay Davies again dropping into that sort of position just between the back 2, trying to dictate a bit of plays. Kamara looks for some options here. Yeah, can't wait to see how this ensues though, for sure, Mark.
And Katie, I'll give you a bit of a chop out as you can get your seat into a place where we can actually see the game from. So absolutely marvellous autumn night in Melbourne. South on the attack. In fact, on the defence. And South Melbourne now into attack. Shouts go up there. South Melbourne players not at all happy, nor are their fans. And Gully get it over halfway, only for a moment though. South Melbourne back on the offense. Decent old crowd here tonight. And that one's going to run way too long, although well out of his goal. Was Clark. Just got himself at 6s and 7s for a second there, Katie.
Typical sort of the modern goalkeeper, just always out there to sort of sweep and try to, a really important part of sort of building up possessions for sides now are goalkeepers. But, of course, if they're not on the same wavelength as their defence, it can backfire quite spectacularly at times. Keep an eye on, I guess, with the South Melbourne defence, particularly with Lirim Almazi, just has been really, I think, impactful in, going back and screening in front of the back four, or either sometimes dropping in to the back four. Such a flexible, solid unit that South have really become this season. It's largely built off, his efforts, the likes of Marko Jankovic as well. Promising position here for South. Some good work there by Wallen on the far side.
Just worked their way into some pressure there, South Melbourne. Flag, they were baying for the flag. They got it eventually. And now South will probably just try and float this one into the 18-yard box. Ball in, not a great ball. Although, half a chance there for South Melbourne. Just not enough pressure on the ball there.
Jankovic, very dangerous there, lurking at the back post. He's fashioned himself into a bit of a goal-scoring threat this season. I think arguably South's best player, I think, in some of these early exchanges, particularly last week against the Altona Magic, was really instrumental in both setting up goals and assisting, winning penalties and getting it done at the other end of the field as well. Arguably, a fair pick for early player of the season. Gully just looking to build up here, just try to maintain possession as is their want with the way that they play under Stevie Downs. Alex Salmon, of course, such a formed striker, incredibly smart with his movements and his play. Jagger putting in some pressure there, just trying to pressure the South back four. Of course, let us know where you're watching from tonight. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Give us a comment, and we'll do our best to, reply. We'll do our best to read them out on air. Let us know your thoughts, and let us know where you're watching from. Always fun to see that engagement. Definitely a fun time on the NPL live streams. Mark?
Well and truly, right around Melbourne, Victoria, or the world. Let us know where you are. And we do have, of course, a Green Gully website ad right behind the goals. www. Just to remind us what the internet is. South. Again, through the middle. Just nodded away. So they've been pretty sound at the back so far. That was T-Boy Kamara. Here he goes again. One of the real promising names in Australian football. There's two of them out there tonight for Green Gully. South Melbourne turned defence into attack very quickly. South Melbourne again, right for the middle. Oh, massive opportunity there for South Melbourne. It gets the applause of the crowd, the South Melbourne visiting supporters, although it wasn't quite on the mark.
More pressure piling on for Gully here. South looking to press forward here. Of course, Henry Hall making a good run down that right side. But it'll be a restart for Green Gully here. Chance to reset after some of these early exchanges. Just 7 minutes gone here. Of course, keep an eye out on Green Gully, who will look to try and feed those quick balls through to both T-Boy and Marmadi Kamara on these left and right sides angles, particularly De Godo with his passing range, has that ability to make those cross-field passes, has that ability to open up space for his forwards. And of course, Jay Davies still slotting in just between the defenders, trying to dictate some play there. Brilliant run there from Alex Salmon. Selfless play, going up, receiving the ball, trying to link up with his teammates. Such a well-rounded striker, someone to keep an eye on.
So pretty even opening. What are we now? Almost 10-minute mark. 8 minutes into the game. Pretty even so far. Still very early in the season. 1v6. South Melbourne just go down the line on the far side from our commentary position. And a diagonal long ball. What can they make of this, South Melbourne? Just holding it up, waiting for the cavalry to come. And that one will go out for a corner kick. So, might be our first corner of the game, I think. Yes. Katie gives me the thumbs up. I'm doing my maths right. One, yep. There was a free kick, that's right. So can South Melbourne strike? Short one. Chance to reset for South Melbourne. Head on, and that's actually come off the Green Gully player there. So I think it was T-Boy who's just played the ball in. So a little bit of a yelp there from the South Melbourne fans. Probably not undeservedly.
Tight call. I would have thought there, Mark. Of course, a fantastic turnout, of course, on the hill alongside us tonight, Mark, and always a fantastic travelling band of supporters are South Melbourne. Comments coming in, of course, from Andy Davies, watching live from London. I believe the father of Jay Davies, a fantastic supporter of both Jay and Green Gully. Good to see you tuning in, Andy. As well as Pauline Salmon, who's supporting Green Gully, watching live from England as well. Of course, a couple of South supporters in the comments as well. Costa Vlahos supporting South, as well as Scott Hudson. Thanks for tuning in, fellas, and thanks for the comments. Keep them coming, everyone. Looking forward to what should be a fascinating contest. A bit cagey so far in these early going. Nothing clear-cut yet at this point, but I think there's a fascinating contest forming between Jerry Salados and Jeremy Walker here on our broadcast wing here tonight, Mark. I think the pace of Jeremy Walker is going to be really key to tracking back. I think he always is, never afraid to get forward, really attacking minded, but definitely has that sort of presence of mind and that speed and ability to get back. Arguably Gully's best player, you'd have to say. Such a consistent player.
Absolutely the case. Green Gully maybe slightly better of the two so far, but it is all about possessing the football at the moment. It comes all the way back there to Tyson. And then Hall. So cagey is probably a great way of describing the game so far, Katie, because one of the great things about, I guess we call it the grassroots, but this is NPL. This is now South on the attack. Great ball movement. And, just a little trip in the box there, but maybe just fell over the defender's feet. That's certainly the way the referee saw it. And almost hearts in the mouths moments here for the Green Gully faithful. T-Boy. Oh, and that's a heavy contact. Play on is the call. And another tackle in the box. And what will the referee do here? Not going to bring the ball back. Almost tripping over his own player there. Green Gully. And tell you what. Well, I don't know if you heard that, but we are on the hill here. But, yeah, certainly a bit of advice from the crowd there, Katie.
It's all part of the scenery, all part of the sounds of the NPL grounds, no matter where you go. T-Boy Kamara, though, looks in a bit of trouble here. Copped a bit of a heavy challenge. Referee made a great call in allowing Gully to have the advantage, but T-Boy, I think has been such a stellar performer when he has been here at Green Gully. I think a full season in 2019, of course, the Corona interrupted season in 2020 as well. I think he's such an important linchpin to the way that they play. Of course, he's just he's just such a point of difference, I guess you would say, in the Green Gully lineup here. So they'll be keen to keep him out there, and looks like he'll soldier on and play through the pain of trying to run it out. Of course, Lirim Almasi, their fantastic effort to just track back a couple of really solid challenges in the defensive area at both ends. That's been acknowledged as well by Andy Davies, praising the great challenge in the box at the Green Gully end. Shout-outs, of course, to M as well, supporting Green Gully, watching live from the Gold Coast. Thanks to everybody for supporting the NPL Victoria live streams, of course. Just nearing the 15-minute mark here. I think, Mark, you accurately described it as cagey, and this is one of the things I was just kind of not worried, but I think you have a sort of situation where both sides are cancelling each other out a little. Gully are going to look to try and pass their way through a South defence who's unbelievably solid, who's proven to be unbelievably solid, conceding only 3 goals in this season so far, one of them being a deflected own goal against Altona Magic about a week and a half ago now, I think it was. I think that's been the whole backbone of their success. That's definitely been the backbone of their early season results. 3 wins, 3 draws, of course, to start these first 6 games. Georgopoulos dropping in to that Davies position, I think you could call it, nearing the defence.
I think you were quoting me back from yourself there, Katie. You said it was cagey. I agreed with you. That's all right. South Melbourne again. As we've seen so many times. I think cautious versus cagey. I think it's been a cautious opening 20-odd minutes here. In fact, only just over 15. So a cautious opening quarter hour. Very important contest, of course. And Gully on the attack there. One of the Camera boys. They go from left to right. And now route 1 for Gully right there. Almost unlocked the South Melbourne defence that you've been so praiseful of tonight, Katie, but it almost got unlocked there. But they were equal to the task. And Gully just lose control there. And you've got to say, it's a decent little turnout tonight here at Green Gully. As you mentioned, plenty of people here on the hill. Plenty over on the far side of the ground for us anyway. The home side. And South Melbourne again into attack. Little step over. So did well there. I've got to say, it's a pretty quiet crowd. We praise the crowd for being great numbers, but very quiet tonight. All we can really hear is the bench at this stage. Hearing plenty off both technical areas tonight. Now South again. Just retreat for a second. And seen out for a goal kick for Green Gully. And they'll be happy to see that.
Chance to reset and try to build back up from the back, as they do tend to try and do. That's their sort of, the way that they sort of go about it, just sort of play out through the back. A chance now to do exactly that. Clearing headed there by Yankovic, plays it to Sawyer. Looks to play Bates through on goal, but doesn't quite get there. Has too much on the pass. Sean Simmons, of course, on that right side for Gully, on that left side for Gully, I should say. So this is going to be interesting to see how Gully just try and adapt here. I think they'll try to be patient and just try to stick to their guns, stick to their style. Such a fluid, I guess a fluid sort of style of play that they aim for, but, you know, very willing to switch positions, change positions, make those runs, make those passes for each other. It's very much a team culture that Downs has fostered here and has had some early success in his coaching tenure here at Gully. Timmins now on that far side in the contest. Such a sturdy player there, but South are able to recover possession there through Almazi. Looks to play in Sawyer, but the flag is up. First offside of the night, I think I want to say as well, Mark. Possibly?
I think so. I think you might be right. Yep. So only one corner so far, one offside, and fluid was the word you used, which was something this game hasn't quite been just yet. Coming up. They turn defence into attack, South Melbourne. Down the left, straight for the middle. Ooh, and that was very, very close. And Green Gully will be happy for the corner there, because the red flags were going up quickly there for Green Gully. So Sawyer to take the corner. Just a matter of floating this one in. For South Melbourne, they come in numbers to South Melbourne. Nothing comes of it. And Green Gully defend very, very well. Now Gully from right to left. Coming up. Just nice ball work there. Comes to the other, coming up. Just stays on the ball very, very well. And that was kind of in no man's land for a second there, and South Melbourne were just quite happy to let it sit. Ready for the troops to come forward. Go short was the call. We can hear it loud and clear up here. And Green Gully will press the reset button again. Into some space now. Just a kind of nothing ball, to be honest. As the outside lights go off, it's kind of doing my head in a little bit. But the training ground lights are going on and off as we speak. Most importantly, they're well and truly loud and clear on the main stadium. And just playing it out from the back. South Melbourne. And there's a bit of advice getting, a bit of coaching going on the fence down here. I assume it might be a parent or a uncle of one of the players. He's moving here. Get out there. And now South Melbourne in space again. They've got some room to move. A little bit of manhandling going on. And Green Gully will clear it. So now, defence into attack. Gully through the middle. Oh, that was a goal-scoring opportunity if I've ever seen one. And still just to the left of the goal there, Katie.
Space starting to open up a little bit more for both sides. Some of the better chances of the game. Of course, Harrison Sawyer up on the other end just a few moments ago was South's best chance of the game with that chance at the near post. Now Mamadi Kamara forcing a chance at the Gully end. Chance to build some pressure here with the corner there through Jay Davies to take, it looks like. They look to send it in here. Floats it long and high, but there looks like a foul there. Smack bang in the centre of the box. So South, a bit of a reprieve there. Chance to restart play on their terms now. Andy Davies commenting as well. Walker is outstanding. Shows you don't always need to win the ball, but you must delay. Great call there, Andy, as well. And I stand corrected. Thank you to Costa Vlahos mentioning that it was the second offside. Jerry Salados earlier flagged offside for South Melbourne. Just get the sense that both sides are cancelling each other out a little bit here, Mark.
Thanks, Andy. Keeping us honest up here in the commentary box. Costa Vlahos. Not related to Andy Vlahos by any chance. I'm sure you'll answer that quickly for us. And again, just a nervous second or two for Green Gully in defence. These goalkeepers, Katie, are really getting me on edge tonight. Quick touch there for South Melbourne. Just tumble over. And for those around the world, watching us on the other side of the world, I mentioned it was a beautiful night, but it's a bit cool in Melbourne. We've had some very warm weather, but I'm actually shivering at the minute. So, back to the football. So real no cutting edge so far. Gully have probably had the better of the chances, although South did have their own gilt edge chance, hitting the side netting. But approaching the half-hour mark of this game. And a late tackle from behind. No, play on is the call from the referee. Just letting it go. Coming up. Gilt edge chance here for Green Gully. And again, just needed to pull the trigger then. You would have thought. Salmon just had the ball at his toe 10 yards from goal and just, for some reason, didn't pull the trigger. Gully attack again. This one in the middle. Handball was the call from the South Melbourne fans, or for the players, I might say, because the fans aren't making any noise tonight from either side. But certainly a shout for a handball there. Not sure it was there. And now Green Gully with a corner. How many corners now? We've only got 10 fingers each. So Gully. Look to float it in. That's done with some purpose, and it's just missed absolutely every single person inside the box. Gully again. Left to right. Oh, and just to the left of goal there, Green Gully. And they will win another corner, which is how many now? Mr. Vlahos, can you tell us, please? So, Gully again. Repeat of 30 seconds ago. Just way too long. If they were going for the far post, they certainly got that and then some. And now South Melbourne. They want to counter. And speaking of goalkeepers giving me heart palpitations, he's back on his line now. South will square it up. And that one just cleared off the line, or not quite the line. And that will float out again. In fact, Gully will get it before it hits the sideline. And finally, danger has been averted for the home side. 1v6 NPL Victoria. Mark Van Aken with you. Katie Lambeski. And that's T-Boy. Here he is again. Kamara just shaping. Oh, just getting his mitts in the right place at the right time was Clark for South Melbourne. Thanks, Katie. Thanks for the assist. And there'll now be another corner. So after a fairly pedestrian kind of opening 20, we've had a lot going on in the last 10.
Definitely. Space starting to open up. Some repeated set-piece opportunities here that Davies has been floating in through for Gully. Yeah, definitely chances on the counter for both sides. Georgiopoulos with the chance of the half there. Fantastic save by Clark to deny him. Degotto with the chance there. Couldn't quite keep the header down. Meeting the pass there from Davies. The corner just floats past the top right post there. More chances you would think. I just think this game needs just that one goal just to blow everything open here. We just passed the half-hour mark. Kind of thinking, but there's a goal imminent. There's just sort of this nervous little tense energy around the crowd tonight. We'll see how things to play out in these next few minutes for sure.
So often we say in commentary that the game needs a goal. Well, this game doesn't need one at the moment because it's entertaining us nonetheless. And you're not wrong, Katie. It seems a goal is just waiting for us. We just don't know which way it's going to go. Will it go the home side way or the south side way? And here you go. We can probably get a game ball. No? Not quite. There's a few people going, yeah, throw it this way, throw it. A few people want to take home a game ball, apparently, Katie. But not going to happen. And I don't know if you can pick this up from our mics, but there is so much noise coming from the pitch at the moment. South Melbourne moving in tight spaces through the middle. They've got to score here. Surely they don't. Still a chance for South Melbourne. Not forthcoming. So we've not been bereft of opportunities to score tonight from both sides. There were a couple of seconds there I thought Green Gully could not possibly miss, but they did. And South Melbourne found a way to miss then. Play going the way of South Melbourne so they can attack again. Little over 10 minutes to go here in the first half, plus, of course, stoppage time. Camera. Beautiful touch on the football. Just sends it back to defence. And just exploring the width of the pitch. Green Gully at the moment. I reckon most of that noise, Katie, is coming from the goalkeeper. He can commentate for us, I think. And just, if there's one criticism of Green Gully, they kind of get into that final third and they just slow it down almost too much. Although that defies what I just said, and the flag goes up for offside. Yeah, so, Katie, you disagreed with me. You gave me a face, but that's fine. You can give me a face, that's fine. But I just feel they're getting into that final third and they're just waiting for something that's not necessarily happening.
I agree with you on this one, I've got to say. I think Alex Salmon...
Why the face?
No, not at all, not at all. I think you picked up on something here, because I think with Alex Salmon, who's just dropping in to those midfield spaces a bit more, it's not really playing as a stay-at-home sort of centre, target man sort of thing. He's more, it's a selfless sort of play that he's sort of doing, but I think, I don't know, maybe he needs to just occupy those two central defenders a little bit more, just try to hurry them up, hustle, play a little bit more. But then do you take away that bit of space for T-Boy and Mamadi Kamara? Do you take away from that? So it's a bit of a catch-22 there. So it's a bit of a battle that I think we'll have to see how it plays out. But I think, I think that's what's just that final third is where it's just falling down for Gully just a little bit. South look to reload here.
So I'm glad that it wasn't a face. It was... She has many faces, she tells me. We're getting tangled in our own cords here at the moment, but that's fine. And South Melbourne now on the attack again. And that one is shot from distance, but straight into the midst of Tyson. I told you it was cold before. I reckon there might be half a dozen pastizzi coming my way at half time. That might be a hint to any Green Gully canteen people. Any more comments from social? No? A lot of disheartened South Melbourne fans with that last saute forward from Hawke. Gully forced to reset now through Hall. Walker's done a ton of work on the right-hand side tonight for Green Gully. Real workhorse for the Cavaliers. Jago. And Walker again was about to get amongst it. Gave his out to Walker. Camera back to Walker. As I said, he's been amongst it. Now a massive chance here for Green Gully. Again, just no one at home for Green Gully. Like, they just needed someone. South can now counter. Down the left-hand side. Just waiting for some cavalry is the word I was looking for. I was searching for the word. It got there eventually. And just like that, we've gone from defence to attack. It's been that kind of night, Katie.
A little bit indeed, Mark. I think more comments are coming through as well. Keep them coming as well. Let us know your thoughts on the game, where you're watching from. Andy Davies, of course, pointing out in the comments, correctly pointing out that Jay Davies has stepped higher and a player further, and is basically adding that sort of extra player in that middle third, giving Gully a bit more, I guess, impetus, I think, in that middle of the park, just trying to force the issue just a little bit more. They might have to continue that because they've had some success in these last few minutes in doing that. Brad Norton is pushed forward here. Looking for plays through Silados, but the flag is up again. Just trying to probe, just trying to force himself into that bit of space, but just couldn't quite time to run there. And Gully will look to reset here. Interesting to hear, and this is something that you don't hear in the I guess the elite levels, if you will, of the game. The voice from the players, the talk of the players. You don't. It's something I don't think you really notice until you actually hear it at the local grounds and how important it actually is. Particularly, of course, the goalkeepers, the loudest voices in the room always. But yeah, always interesting, always a fascinating sort of factor in these sorts of games.
Spot a goalkeeper, can you?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. It's Davies here who's marching the ball forward, looking for a runner. He finds Timmins. Plays back to Jago. Again, of course, Green Gully just sort of really fluid in midfield a little bit here. Georgopoulos, Jago, Davies just sort of combining and taking turns, rotating through that middle of the park area. Of course, it makes it, I guess it can make it very hard for an opposition to sort of mark that and try to put a stop to that, if you will. The one thing I think Gully might want to unlock a little bit more is those crossfield passes from De Godoy, trying to find the Kamara boys in both T-Boy and Marmody across these left and right wings. Gully just recycling possession here, winning it back, just probing away. Beautiful cross in by Walker, but no one there to meet it, Mark. Just that same issue that you've been pointing out earlier tonight.
Well, you're not wrong, Katie, because they're starting to frustrate me a little bit, Green Gully, tonight. They should already have 2 goals on the scoreboard, yet they don't seem to want to put anyone up front. That said, they go on attack now. Oh, that was a heavy contact, and that will no doubt see a card come out of the pocket. And here it comes. Again, we can hear the goalkeeper. Whistle ref, whistle ref. Clark just making himself well and truly known there. It's funny you say that because we're now hearing every single bit of dialogue going on out there. And there's a bit of chat going to and fro. Let's put it that way. Most of it we can't repeat on air. So Davies now 4 on the wall for South Melbourne. He's going to go. Oh, that was a poor hit. Sorry, Jay, but that was not at all what we were expecting there, mate. You need to float that one in. They get another chance here, Green Gully, albeit momentarily. And we're just about upon half-time here. Just waiting to hear from the 4th official on stoppage time. But you wouldn't imagine there'd be a heck of a lot. T-Boy goes down. Now South Melbourne. Can they strike on a knell of half-time? And, very, very good save there from Tyson. Just got his right mid out to it because danger was imminent there for Green Gully. And South Melbourne now, can they put a goal past Green Gully in the first half, which you have to say would be undeserved, but that's football. And just looking through a sea of Katie's going to, Katie might have to call it from over there. Just looking through a sea of people here. Goes short. And that, you imagine, would probably do that for the first half here, Katie.
Just about, you would think, deep into stoppage time now. A bit of chance against the run of play there from South Melbourne, nearly manufacturing a chance. Jerry Salatos almost something out of nothing, forcing Tyson into a brilliant save onto the post and out of play for the corner there. You can't switch off against this side, I don't think. They just have that ability to find that winner against the run of play. It's a team that has a lot of belief in itself, and that totally indicates, I think, in the results that you're seeing in these early rounds. Of course, coming off the weekend's 6-0 drubbing in the FFA Cup of Werribee City. Of course, Gully coming off that 2-0 win against Dandy Thunder on Easter Saturday, George Andrews Reserve. So both sides coming into this with plenty of momentum. A couple of clear-cut chances for the sides here. And that'll do us for the first half here at Gully Reserve. Definitely has had its moments. Definitely has moments in this first half. Cagey in some instances, chances in some, but of course leaves, I think, a lot to look out for in this second half. A lot still to play out. Both sides with some options on the bench. Both sides with some flair and some impetus as well. So plenty to keep you posted here in the second half, and we look forward to bringing it to you live. Catch up with you shortly. Thank you.
Back at Green Gully Reserve, Mark Van Aken with you, NPL Victoria, Katie Lembeski. What did you make of the first half?
Just sort of what we picked up on a little bit throughout that, particularly later on, we saw some space start to open up. We saw some chances start to come a little bit more, both sides playing through the lines just a little bit more, some good counter-attacks as well. Jerry Salados, I think, producing the chance of the half, particularly late on, forcing Jared Tyson into that fantastic save onto the bar and out for the corner. Gully, of course, Georgopoulos with the chance of the half for Green Gully as well, with that volley just inside the box late on in the first half. Going to keep an eye on for some changes, particularly in these early goings at the half. I think both sides coming back in as selected, but we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, we'll take you around the grounds as well. At Jack Edwards Reserve, it is just past the half-hour mark with the Knights leading Oakley Cannons 1-0. Of course, you can catch that live as well. Preston Lions as well, leading Melbourne Victory at half-time at the NPL round 3 action there at Gina Steele Stadium in Preston. We're back underway here, though. Alex Samaganting's underway for Green Gully.
Thanks for the update. Of course, around the grounds, don't forget, if you get bored of us, you can watch many of our other live streams. That one just runs a little too long there. For coming up. So just interesting to see, as you touched on there, Katie, what changes we're going to see. And one thing I'll be very shocked with tonight if we don't see a goal in the next 10, 15 minutes. Because, as you touched on, the game just started to open up. Both teams threatened. Both teams probably should have scored. In fact, we should be probably sitting at 1 or maybe 2 all. But so far, and that's a missed kick and straight in the back there, the nudge. And the ref's going to go for the pocket here. I reckon that's a little bit harsh. It was innocuous, but in fact, no. Did he pull out the card? No. I turned away as he was about to reach for his pocket. I think at that exact second I turned away, he went, maybe it wasn't a card, but he even asked the player, do I need to pull out the spray there? I think he's like, no, I know where I am. So just floated in, South Melbourne, and that was, again, just flooded to deceive. Like, that was such an attacking opportunity for South Melbourne, and this little dinky ball into the 18-yard box. As Camara, who has, well, both of them have been up and about tonight, T-Boy especially. No corner, no corner. So, again, I love the fact we can actually hear the goalkeepers. They're commentating for us. No corner, no corner. And the flag goes the way of Green Gully once more. And straight into the midst of the goalkeeper there. So again, it's almost like we've had a review of the first half in the opening couple of minutes of this second half, where both teams have attacked, both teams have been good on the ball, but no score.
Sawyer here trying to manufacture a chance going down the channel there. Wins his side a corner. some interesting options, particularly off the bench for Gully, some attacking flair, some points of difference in attack in Matthew Fletcher, who's been returning from an interrupted start to the season through injury, and of course Anthony Polyak, who is on the bench as well. Definite fresh legs, I think you can say, later on in this half, and so I think that they both have the capability to break a game apart here. But it's South who will look to take the chance here. Henry Hoare to take. Curling through, but Tyson is out to meet it. Referee calls for a foul there on the keeper. Look to dominate his area there, Tyson. Some really good keeping. Looks to get the play moving. Good attacking impetus from Gully here. Walker and Kamara T-Boy on that far side trying to link up there. Of course, as well, Marcus Schrain on the bench for South Melbourne, so someone else with that game-breaking sort of ability there. So plenty of football left in this game, and plenty, I think, left still to play out here, Mark.
Well and truly, 40 minutes plus of football in front of us here tonight at Green Gully. And without being too much of a weather reporter, beautiful night for football, but a little bit cold. You've got the right jacket on there, Katie. I'm not sure I do. Shivering as we speak. Coming up. Just works his way into the box, then tries to square it up. Still in play here, Green Gully. And again, flattering to deceive. And South Melbourne will no doubt. And it's a little bit off-putting commentating up here on the hill, because every time I scream, about 30 people turn around. Oh, another one just rolls straight into the awaiting arms of the keeper. Shout out to George Cortamalis, who gave me a fresh packet of Krispy Kremes at halftime, but and that's kind of summed up the night, Katie. Like, just these through balls that should be hitting a target, and they're not. Touch of handball about that, I would have thought. Probably a little bit high on the arm, but I think it was unsighted by not only the referees and the referee's assistant, but obviously the Green Gully players, because they didn't really get up. I don't know if the play's happening more at that end right now, but left the screen for those listening at home, because we are a little bit unsighted on that left-hand side, but we're good. Long one in and tipped over the top. Again, another half chance.
I think, to pick up on your point that you've been really pushing at the moment, Mark, I think Alex Salmon is staying more at home. Do you know what I mean? He's sort of staying more in that forward position, trying to take up that space, trying to harry the defenders, trying to stay a bit more central in that area there. And I think it's giving South a bit to think about. And I think it's just not allowing them to pick off as many passes as they were, particularly in that first half. But it's Davies to take the set piece again. It floats in. But Marshall there with the clearing header, but it only gets as far as Luke Jego, looking to release Mamadi Kamara here on the near side. Left him a bit too much to do there, though. Looks like the first change of the night might be imminent. Anthony Polyak looked like he's getting ready to come on. We'll keep you posted on that change very shortly, it appears. mean, you could probably come to the point where you take off another midfielder, possibly. Georgopoulos or Jego play an extra striker, maybe. But it appears it looks to be a like-for-like swap. Mamadi Kamara being replaced here just at the 55th minute mark with Anthony Poliak to come on. Interesting change there. Interesting moment in this match. Of course, a dynamic sort of player is Poliak. Has that sort of game-breaking ability, and that's what Downs will be looking to bring out of him in this half. And of course, keep those comments coming. Of course, let us know where you're watching from. Let us know your thoughts on the game. Lots still to play out here.
So our first change of the evening. Bit of yap out in the field, I can tell you about that. And I reckon the fans are just getting a little bit testy too, because we are now just under an hour played. Thanks, Katie. So 10 minutes into the second half and still no goals. You can probably hear the airplanes. T-Boy through the middle. Geez, he's been omnipresent tonight. Has T-Boy, but hasn't got those balls ultimately into the right spots at times. And Gully again attack. And they're living dangerously at the moment, South Melbourne. There's only so many opportunities. There was a little nick there, not much in it. Referee probably right to call play on. And now South Melbourne. Can they counter at the other end? Oh, straight at... Oh, is it still in play? And no! Just right of the goal. And again, we are being teased tonight with so many chances around the goal face, but no actual scores, Katie.
So close, so close. Fantastic closing speed, I think, there from Caio de Godoy to deny that deny that goal. I think in part some brilliant goalkeeping as well. Looks like we may have an injury here. Just right in goal there. We'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep you posted as to who that is.
In fact, if you can just do a bit of a replay for us, because we might be able to pick up the player there. Not looking good. Just waiting for confirmation on the player down at the moment. We apologise. We're a little bit unsighted with, well, he's on his back, so it's a bit hard to see his number. But it's the Godoy that's gone down. And it looks like he's just getting back to his feet. But it won't be until he gets on his feet that we can work out how good he is. And he's not looking great at the moment. Just gotten up. And the referee's kindly saying, get off the ground, mate. Might just need to walk it. Looks like he can probably walk it off. Oh, who knows? Didn't actually see the contact. I'm not quite sure what it was. Don't know if you can spot what's going on the bench. Are they going for the sub? It seems he's up to a light jog. And in fact, we just got the thumbs up from the trainer. So I think the Godoy boy will be back shortly.
Looks like it was a twist of the knee just in that collision in goal with Walker and Tyson in the 6-yard box there. I think he just came off second best in that, Godoy, but brilliant defending to deny that chance to Sawyer. Wallen there just trying to poke and prod through the defence there. And it looks like it'll be a slice of cheese here to Sean Timmins. And it looks as if there's a bit of an injury here to a bit of a collision there. Harrison Sawyer looks in quite a bit of difficulty here, as well as Henry Hall. We'll keep an eye on that too. They're urgently calling for the physio here. South fans and players alike looking rather concerned. A bit of the walking wounded here at the moment, Mark.
I love the sympathy from some of the Green Gully fans here. Just pull out the magic spray, ref. This is what we've just heard. But we shouldn't laugh because this does look like a pretty serious injury. As we can see, 2 South Melbourne players down. And plenty of advice coming from the South Melbourne travelling contingent. And you've spotted the player, Katie, I think.
Yeah, Josh Wallen looked like he's come off second best there. Looks to be in a lot of difficulty. Looks to be limping off. And it looks like the physio has called for a sub here. Looks like he's pulling him straight out of the game. And South are going to prepare a sub right here. Might be Shrane, it looks like, but we'll keep an eye on that. Get the confirmation very, very shortly. You hate to see that, honestly. Such an unfortunate part of the game is the injury part, and looks. Oh, let's hope for the best. Let's hope for the best that it's nothing too severe, but it looks like it's an early end to the night of Josh Wallen there. Thoughts with him? We'll get confirmation of the sub now, I think, in a moment. Luke Adams, it appears it is. A defender, number 4, Luke Adams, coming on and replacing the injured Josh Wallen. South will just look to compose themselves here. Should be a chance, but poor delivery there from Henry Hall, must be said.
Well, it's not our job to criticise these players, Katie, but that was such a poor ball into the area from South Melbourne. And it's not like he didn't have time to prepare for it. Like there was 2 minutes break and really probably too much time. Not a bad point, but they are frustrating their fans tonight, Green Gully and South Melbourne collectively. Into the 62nd minute of the game. Half an hour to play, plus time. And you suspect this might be a game of South Melbourne. Into attack. Over the line, and the referee didn't see anything wrong with that. South Melbourne fans on the hill here probably disagree with the referee on that occasion, but again, we won't repeat some of the stuff that's coming up on the hill. But in fact, here we go. And another Green Gully player down. They're walking wounded at the moment. South Melbourne, of course, have already had a forced sub upon them. And it does look like there's movement on the bench at the moment, Katie, for Green Gully. Gully is going to walk himself off the ground.
Yeah, it looks like an end to the night of Kyle de Godoy. He's been replaced by Daniel Jones, the Green Gully stalwart. De Godoy looked like he couldn't quite continue on with that injury they sustained just minutes before in that collision in the goal area. Unfortunate moment for Green Gully because I think he's been a really impressive addition to the squad, of course, coming across from Port Melbourne in the longest pre-season ever in the NPL. Georgopoulos here with a great run down the side. No one there to tap it home, though. Alex Salmon just not quite there in the centre. Goes back to that same point, Mark, again. Just no one quite there to bring it home.
It's almost like neither team wants to score tonight. And Daniel Jones, it was pretty easy to spot him coming off the bench because it's such a huge presence, both figuratively and literally, in NPL Victoria, or even going back to the VPL days. Been such a massive figure for this club over a long period of time, in which they've enjoyed some great success, we might add. I wouldn't mind betting, and I'd have to put my thinking cap on, but he would have been part of those championship teams going back 10, 15, maybe more. I'm showing my age, and probably showing his age. But he's out there. I'm on the hill commentating. He's out there playing football. And here he is again. Of course, got Jeremy Walker out there tonight as T-Boy. And have a crack, mate, was the call from the hill. And again, it was a pretty lame crack. And I think that might have come from a South Melbourne supporter, in fact, urging a Green Gully striker on to having a crack at goal. It probably sums up the evening. I think there's a bit of Gully that still goes through your veins there, Katie, because I could feel the little strain in your voice there. Don't forget, I was a Green Gully junior for about 2 weeks, so until they said, yeah, you're not very good. And they were in the National Soccer League at the time. They go on attack again. And it just peters out because you were pointing at me to go fire up, and it's just petered out. T-Boy just takes a moment, and again, just, in fact, in his defence, he was waiting for the defence to come to him, and he probably played it quite smartly. Although the corners tonight, Katie, have not been fantastic.
Yeah, neither side has really fully capitalised on those opportunities there. Interesting to see Steve Laurie, the assistant coach for Green Gully, right on the edge of the box there, exhorting Kamara on to try and take the marker on, try to take on the play a little bit more. Couldn't quite get that shot properly, couldn't quite connect with the shot, I guess you would say. But it's a chance here for Gully. What can they make of it? It floats in, but it's Hall to clear it at the back. Jego with a sharp pole in, and a bit of a half-clearing header, but it's a chance for South to reassess here. Needed the bigger man to try and push forward there.
Is that a lack of patience from South Melbourne, just trying to put that long diagonal ball in there? It's almost, again, that's right, take your time, build the play up, because it's almost like they're trying to play this Route 1 stuff. Wasn't quite Route 1 from South Melbourne there, but as Jones gets another touch on the ball, and Georgopoulos earns the ire of the assistant referee, and there's a little bit of angst getting into the crowd, I've got to say. They're feeling our pain right now, Katie. This game, we spoke about it probably an hour ago. The game needs a goal. It didn't need one then. It needs one now. Because it will just... And I suspect we get one goal, I reckon we're going to see 3 or 4. That's this kind of game. And that sums up the night for South Melbourne. Completely mishit. And now Gully on the counter. T-Boy. T-Boy out in front. Can he beat the keeper? He can't. Pulsating run there from Green Gully. But ultimately, ends in nothing here in the 69th minute of the game. And for those listening around the world, we are near an airport. We have a plane flying overhead. Jones just gets... In fact, that wasn't Jones. T-Boy again. Just like referring to him by his first name because it's a cracking first name. Oh, and Gully just left, took a deflection. And I reckon someone, the referee, is heard he's given a yellow to one of the assistant coaches, I think, or... I don't know who that was, but anyway, they've now got a yellow card. And we're going to get a substitution, in fact, a couple of substitutions now for South Melbourne. Katie, I'll let you take those down. 20 is coming off. And I'll hand it back to you.
So confirmation there, Marcus Schrain to replace Zach Bates here just at the 70th minute mark. Wonderful shift, I thought, from Zach Bates. Just was always trying to probe and always trying to create just those opportunities there. Of course, Daniel Clark replacing as well the, of course, number 13, Henry Hoare. Bit of a like-for-like change. I think he'll occupy just those wide positions, those wide mid positions. Corner is in, but cleared again. South standing strong there. Daniel Clark, a very handy late sub here for South Melbourne. What can Gully find here? Just trying to stretch the play. Davies swings it in, but it only gets as far as Almazi. Speak of the devil, Daniel Clark pushing out into those wide positions. No one quite there to honour the pass. They're just trying to force the issue a little bit now. They need Harrison Sawyer in that sort of position. And if you're going to play that pass, try to get up to the big man to hold up. Try to get Schrain and Salados, try to get them those chances. Can't be rushing play like that because it's just going to be so easy for Gully just to pick it off and start again.
You're not wrong. Another example there, South Melbourne. Just trying to jump the gun as Gully have an attack of their own. Through the middle. Chance for a follow-up. South Melbourne collapse in defence quite well. Still Green Gully. Again, the first touch just lacking, and that one well over the top. And you reckon at this point, both these teams are trying so hard to score. They're kind of stuffing it up, for want of a better term. Especially South Melbourne, as we have another sub coming on. I'll hand it over to you, Katie, because you've got the team sheet.
It is a striker for a midfielder here. We have Matthew Fletcher coming on for Nick Georgopoulos. Interesting change there. Definitely different. Adds that point of difference in attack. There's Matthew Fletcher, just a taller sort of target man type, someone to, I guess, link up with Alex Salmon within the remainder of this game. Sensing an opportunity, I think, here at Gully just for that goal. But both sides, you're right, Mark, they're both guilty of trying to force the issue and it's not quite there. Trying to force the pass when it's not quite there. It's almost like they're making up just for those blockage sort of type of plays, just those tight passages, particularly in the first half. Both sides willing to take a bit more risks, and you're seeing a lot more space open up. As well, if we see one goal here, we might see 3 or 4.
Well, that's my prediction anyway, Katie. We're 0-0 here at Green Gully, but I suspect we're going to finish 2-0, 3-0, 3-1, 2-1. Just over a quarter of an hour, I should say, to go. plus stoppage time. 73:45, Katie. Come on. You're watching the replay. Sorry, folks, just a bit of byplay between the commentators. Just keeping her honest. So it's been an entertaining game of football so far. Just no goals. And for all the non-football people, which is probably not you because you're watching football, this is what we mean by football being exciting with no scores, because it's what it is. Jonesy, probably getting colloquial there with calling him Jonesy, but and with that typical English accent of his, despite, was he Welsh? English, Welsh. Well, his name's Welsh anyway. But I think he's English. But that typical loud English voice screaming across the paddock. Of course, a man who was captain of this club for so long and hasn't lost those captain instincts. Now Gully. And again, half a chance resulting in nothing. I think we got the same South Melbourne supporter to the left of us actually going for Green Gully. He just wants a goal. So Jego with that famous hair crossing the box, and surely they can score here. And again, the moans from the home side of the field, I guess. Home side, the grandstand side. And, okay, we might talk over the top of that, maybe. Jonesy again. And the flag goes up that time, so offside for Green Gully. I was going to say, that must have been very close, and the ball was already going the other way. Anyway, it's on our job to criticise the referees, as South Melbourne now go into attack. I reckon T-Boy is going to score. He's been threatening all night. Although, not if he gets sent off for that. That's it. Sorry, T-Boy, if I put a curse on you there, mate. But I just suspect. And South Melbourne. He's barracking for South Melbourne again now. And I zigged when I should not have zagged. What did you just see there, Katie?
Yeah, Brad Norton being picked up there by the referee for that challenge there. And really, I think just that sort of frustration, just a little bit boiling over, a little bit there by the skipper in Norton. Though in fairness to the referees tonight, I think they've got this pretty much spot on throughout the near 80 minutes or so thus far. Really have been willing to let the game run, not whistle happy, not card happy, just been able to let the game get into a bit of a flow, which always helps. But chance here for Gully, but the pass is wayward and Clark just picks it off. Same issue that we're seeing again. Both sides just sort of still trying to pick a pass when it's not quite there, leaving too much to do for Salados as well.
Maybe I'm putting too much into this game, but This is the 5-4 game that never was at this stage. Both teams have been open. Both teams have played open, flowing football, but still no score. I was talking about aeroplanes before. Now we've got a helicopter. Beautiful step over there for South Melbourne. Onto the attack. And coming in. And what will the referee do with this one? He's pulled out the yellow card straight away. I've got to say, I didn't see a heck of a lot wrong with that challenge. He came in, he get in there early. But referee saw it differently. It's not my job to second guess the referee. At least not on air. So
I think he was just a bit more stronger in the challenge. There was Timmins. I think he got ball first, but I think the problem was that he collected Salados on the way out, and the referee saw the foul there, and it's a chance now for South Melbourne, a chance at the spot kick, and it looks like Salados or possibly even Schrain to take. They're both standing over that. But yeah, contentious decision to say the least, I think, there, Mark. What can they manufacture here? We just ticked past the 80-minute mark here. Just under 10 minutes normal time remaining. Plus, you think there will be a sizable amount of stoppage time with some of the injuries, of course, in this half. The starter from Salados. Schrain, close, but Tyson is up to the task there. Takes the ball at the top left corner. Saw that all the way, you think, Mark?
Yeah, Tyson seemed to have that covered from the get-go. But they attack again, South Melbourne. Amounts to nothing. Who will crack first? South Melbourne or Green Gully? NPL Victoria. Mark Van Aken with you. Katie Lambeski. And don't forget, of course, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, wherever it might take you. And we're here week in, week out, NPL, NPL 1, NPLW. Good move now for South Melbourne into attack, but again dispossessed. This could be a chance, and there it is. We've been waiting all night for the goal, and there it came. It took a moment of brilliance just to unlock it. And now, Katie, with 8 minutes plus stoppage time to go, is that our only goal tonight? I don't think so.
Who knows? Definitely I think you can see a twist ready to come in this one, but Marcus Strain, wonderful goal. Just made that perfect run from the middle of the field that was so hard to track. Just found that bit of space, unlocked the defense absolutely, and then parked that to the bottom right-hand corner. Tyson, who I thought has had a very good game, it took a very good finish to beat him here tonight, and Schrain has got his side up and in a vital time in the game, a very important lead. Oh boy, the cat's amongst the pigeons now.
Well, I like to be a reader of body language, but Green Gully, their hands are on their hips at the moment, from Tyson through to the striker. And it's their job now to pick themselves up after being maybe the better team on the night. So it's their job to pick themselves up. Because as Bill Shankly said, it only takes a second to score a goal. And that's all they need. And T-Boy, I predicted, although he just copped one on the bum there, but as another aeroplane goes overhead, it's only going to take a second for Green Gully to get back into this contest. But have they got the minerals? Are they up for it? And I know everyone gets down after copping a goal. I get that. But they just look defeated after that goal, Green Gully. Not that man Jones, though. Although not his best ball. And the South fans call for a yellow for that one. No. Walker just trying to talk up the Green Gully players there. Good on him. Said we've got it. Not at the moment. Down 1-0. But the game is still very much in their hands, as it is for South as well. Poor ball there for South Melbourne. I should say Gully. So South Melbourne now with the throw. South Melbourne's a team in blue, right? Yep. Okay. Here they come again. South. Can they attack twice? Just marshalling them beautifully there at the Green Gully defence. Now Gully can counter. Speaking of countering, here comes South Melbourne. Can they double their advantage? Not with a shot like that, I wouldn't have thought. Very, very poor shot at goal there, Katie. Sorry.
Almasi just sneaking forward there after winning the ball back. Fantastic opportunity there, but Gully just sort of committing that extra man forward, and Almasi just saw fit to take advantage of that situation there. Opportunity gone begging, but South wouldn't mind that at all. They're sitting on the lead now.
And I believe you might have some around the ground stuff for us, or no? You do? You've given me the thumbs up. We'll just wait for the play. Gully again, just pausing when they, frankly, with 5 minutes left in the game, they don't have time to pause. And as that goes out wide, I'm just trying to wait for the right moment for you, Katie. Okay, this will be it. Around the grounds.
We have the equaliser at Jack Edwards Reserve. Matt Thurtell equalising early in the second half at the 50th minute, levelling things at 1-1. Gully here, Bo, with the impetuous there. Kamara with the cross, but no one there to meet it. Just again trying to force something that just wasn't quite there, but you needed Matt Fletcher, you needed Alex Salmon right there to turn the ball home. And we'll just briefly go through to Preston versus Melbourne victory. Preston still leading 1-0 at the 80th minute mark. Gully with the corner. The header's there, but not quite enough to bother Clark in goal there. And I'll take more than the allocated time here just to take valuable seconds out of this game here for South. Smart play, looking for Sawyer down the channel there, down the right side. Looking for Clark there to link up with, but they'll win the throw-in. Even better, more valuable minutes and seconds off the clock. Shortly we'll have confirmation of stoppage time. You'd think there would be a handy amount here given the injuries and substitutions in this half.
Watch your under over, Katie. 4. I'm going to go 5. Just to be different. And we will keep one eye on the play and one eye on the assistant or the fourth official. So is Kamara going to make a liar out of me and not score tonight? Because I reckon he's got a goal in him. As do Green Gully. Although South have kind of arm wrestled their way into control of this game. Just despite the obvious, the goal, that kind of helps. But also just on the field, they've just pushed in front of Green Gully in the second half for mine. As that one just runs deep. And assistant referee, help us out, mate. We're into the 90th minute of the game. I can hear we can actually hear the bench from all the way over here. 5 minutes was the call from Green Gully's bench. In fact, that's not Gully's bench, that's South Melbourne's bench. Why do they want 5 minutes? I win. In fact, that might have been the 5 minutes coming from the South Melbourne. Yes, okay. Sorry, folks. We'll catch you up. But you could hear the South Melbourne bench confirming 5 minutes stoppage time. And there goes up the screen. So 5 minutes for Gully to get an equaliser. Is this the moment for Green Gully? They take the short corner. Kamara. Still Kamara. Just bounces off the tackle beautifully. But he's lost possession there. And now South Melbourne. Can they put an exclamation point on their one goal? They're still going, and that will be a yellow card, no doubt. The only question, was he the last defender? He wasn't, so he's lucky, because it might have been a couple of weeks off. And now South Melbourne leading 1-0 into stoppage time here. Can they put a finer point on tonight's game? And plenty of talk going on the bench. They're trying to do some substitutions. The referee doesn't want a bar of it. So plenty of yap on the field at the moment between both sides. Can South Melbourne stay top? Take their winning 2021 a little bit further. And now South again. Gully getting sloppy at the back. They've been unsloppy all night defensively, as of South Melbourne. But they're getting a little sloppier by the second here as they try and reach for that elusive equaliser. Kamara, that's a foul, and that will be a yellow card as well. Gully, you suspect one last chance for a goal. They square it up beautifully across the face, and still they got a chance, and a brilliant save there for South Melbourne. And they'll now counter. And you reckon that was the last bullet in the gun for Green Gully tonight. Although I've been wrong before, Katie, I could be wrong again. They come again. And out it goes. And I reckon that whistle is imminent. And South Melbourne look likely to take 3 valuable points away from Green Gully Reserve tonight. But is there another chapter in what's been a, I'll say it, bloody good game of football? The whistles come out from the South Melbourne fans. Still another chance. Ooh, curled beautifully just across the top of goal. And that was the last bullet.
You have to think so. These last couple of chances from Salmon, those were the ones. Those were that. If Gully were going to equalise, that was that moment to do so. Salmon just trying to still make something, still trying to create something for his side. Has battled away all night, but hasn't quite came off for him as we enter what should be the final minute of stoppage time. Gully just trying to force their way forward, just trying to recover the possession here. But of course, that's leaving a lot of space for South to work into when or if they do recover the ball. Patient by Walker though. Davies looking for an option forward, but nothing doing for him there. Forces it back to Jago. In the dying seconds, South fans wanting the whistle here. It's Polyak. Cuts in field. Salmon is dropped into the middle. There it is. That should be enough. There's Jeeba cuts out the pass. South will reassess from the throw in here.
And they are absolutely baying for the whistle at the moment, the South Melbourne supporters. I've got to say, I don't disagree with them. Like, this has been an eternity. What minute have you got? Okay. The referee not bending to the South Melbourne fans. He's getting plenty of advice from the South Melbourne supporters. So Gully, I said they're out of bullets. Camera. A follow-up, not a great shot. That might have been a handball. And there goes the whistle. And the South Melbourne travelling contingent and Green Gully are literally on the deck. They've worked hard all night. For passages of the game, they've been the better team. But tonight, it is 1-0 to South Melbourne. Mark Van Aken, Katie Lembeski, thanks for your help tonight.
Pleasure to be with you, Mark. Fantastic to bring a hugely entertaining game here at Green Gully Reserve. Pleasure calling it with you. Pleasure and thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Fantastic game of football. The South Juggernaut rolls on their 7th game undefeated. Another clean sheet. And all in all, likely to be top of the table when this weekend is all said and done. Fantastic game, and I appreciate everyone's company tonight. Thank you for the comments, and I appreciate your company tonight, Mark. Have a lovely night, everybody. Tune in for the rest of the week. Plenty of football to bring us home. Thank you.